What's going on, guys? Tarsius here, and I'm going to help you choose your class for the classic version of World of Warcraft. Yes, we're coming home. Wow. The Hunter can provide tranq shot for raids and misdirection, which is essential for raiding. They're, in my opinion, the easiest class to level to 60, and the Hunter is a great choice for newcomers to the game because they have pets that can essentially tank for them. The drawback of selecting a Hunter is bag management and ammo management. Then you have pet management as well. Pets can become a nuisance in dungeons and even raid environments due to their aggro and pathing. They do have lower DPS in the final stages of Classic other than range DPS, but they're still a well-balanced class. They make great farmers, and in PvP they can essentially utilize different traps which help in PvP situations, and they're great at defending flags and bases. The Druid. The Druid class is a jack-of-all-trades type of class. They offer plenty of healing, but when in bear form they have tons of defenses. They can stack agility, get high dodge, and high armor. Just be prepared to stare at a bear's ass for hundreds of hours if it's your main class, especially if you're going to be tanking. Did I say tank? You can tank 5-mans in bear form, but you won't be doing any endgame raiding. In a raid setup environment, you're going to be healing. You're going to be providing HOTS to your teammates, Innervate to other healers, and Mark of the Wild and Battle Res. Now the Druid can be a Night Elf with the Alliance or a Horde Tauren. They do have some of the lowest sustainable DPS of any class in Moonkin or Cat form. They're fine to level with, they're very versatile, and they do, however, provide, in my opinion, some of the best group buffs. Innervate and Mark of the Wild are essential in raiding environments. Getting in dungeons and even raids as a healer should be pretty easy. I don't expect many people to be rolling a Druid. Druids are decent in PvP situations. They are arguably the best flag carriers in Warsong Gulch. They provide great cover with their HOTS in PvP battles. They can switch into cat form and dash away. They have bear form if they get attacked. If you're planning on doing a lot of PvP, you can't go wrong with the Druid. The Mage. Mages offer food and drinks, and they have plenty of CC and snares to provide. Leveling as Frost in the early game is a smooth experience. Mages lack the defense until they obtain more of their skill, however mages scale fast and consistent all the way through the game. I do expect to see a ton of mages, but if you're a determined player and show some skill, you can stand out from the others. Mages have great PvP potential and some of the highest range DPS. Crowd control is vital in PvE situations, and Polymorph is one of the best CC spells in the game. Farming as a mage is incredibly easy. I just don't see AoE leveling or farming in the first few months of Classic's release. I just don't see it feasible. I do plan on rolling a mage this time around as my main. The Paladin. The Paladin is Alliance only. Expect to raid as holy and you'll be expected to like it. Paladins have some of the best defenses in the game, and they can tank early dungeons. The Paladin can melee DPS, but it just doesn't provide the consistency of other classes. The Paladin has some of the best buffs for group play, and in my opinion is the best main tank healer. Paladins have great mana regen and offer a very sustainable healing output. In a PvP environment, they could become almost impossible to kill. They're a nuisance that can demoralize the opposing faction. Paladins are a great choice if you're motivated for group play. The Shaman. I mained a Shaman and they're a very fun class to play. Just don't expect to do any serious raiding unless you're the healing spec of Resto. Chain Heal can pump out serious healing to sustain the group. The Horde are the only faction that can utilize the Shaman. It's a jack-of-all-trades style character that provides great team support with totems. Totems can buff your group, not the entire raid party. Other melee DPS love the Wind Fury totem, and healers will love your mana totem. In PvP, they have Purge and Frost Shock, which can help turn the tides of battle in their faction's favor. For leveling, I highly recommend going Enhance. I was able to take my Shaman to rank 12 in PvP, and it was a fun experience overall. They don't offer the best of anything, but they do cover all the bases and are a very fun class to play. I don't expect to see a ton of shamans, so you shouldn't have too difficult of a time getting into groups or gearing up. The Priest. I highly recommend spirit stacking and leveling as Shadow. The leveling experience will be pretty smooth. Raiding Shadow is fun but difficult to convince your raid leader to let you do it. Sustainable mana is the biggest issue with Shadow Priests. A fully geared Shadow Priest can sustain a group with Vampiric Touch alone. Warlocks will love your Shadow Weaving, but unfortunately I always found myself out of mana faster than most classes. Priests are very sought after for healing raids and even dungeons. They're a very balanced healing class and surprisingly tanky in PvP due to their fear and bubble. They have great stamina buffs for groups, and they're one of the easiest classes to gear up. They even have a well that heals. Like, that's crazy. A priest class scales great all the way through the entire game and is a great choice for anyone wanting to heal. We need to talk about the rogue class. This class is the most feared because of their crowd control and stealth. Rogues have the highest melee DPS in the game, and a skilled rogue in PvP can win games for their team. I do expect to see a ton of rogues in early Classic, but in the long term their numbers will balance out. Rogues are a fantastic class and offer a very unique experience to the game. Dungeons and raid groups need them for their sustained DPS and crowd control abilities. Their leveling experience in early game is really gear dependent, and they don't scale well until higher levels, but when properly geared, they're absolute beasts. The Warlock. Let's talk about the other pet class. The Warlock is a very powerful tool in both PvE and PvP situations. They level incredibly fast due to their demons, and they have tons of tools at their disposal. They provide health stones and health buffs to raids, and when fully geared, a Warlock can pump out some of the highest sustained DPS. The drawback of a Warlock is they don't have great burst damage when starting out. They have pet management as well, and they have to constantly farm soul shards. They do, however, offer a very unique playstyle that cannot be replicated by any other class. In PvP, Warlocks are monsters. If they get the chance to load up their dots and free cast, or with Ruin, they can clear the battlefield easily. Chain Fears and dots can demoralize the enemy and make Warlock one of the best PvP classes in the game. And saving the best for last, the Warrior. Probably the longest, most frustrating level experience out there, but if you can suffer through it, the rewards are massive at endgame. The Warrior is very gear dependent but scales incredibly well late game. In AQ and Nax, their DPS can push past rogues. Warriors are a challenging class to master. Stance dancing and their snares allow them to destroy their opponents on the battlefield. A warrior with a healer is a train wreck. Warriors are the tank spec. A strong, competent warrior can help a raid more than any other class. They are a class that offers the highest reward for the highest skill. If you have strong leadership skills, I highly recommend the Warrior. My closing thoughts. When it comes to choosing your main, there are no right or wrong answers. Play what you find the most fun and engaging. Each class offers unique playstyles, and all classes are welcomed. Do you want a tank? I recommend the Warrior, but you could be a Paladin or a Bear Druid. Do you want a melee DPS? There's a Rogue or a Fury Warrior, even Enhancement Shaman or a Kitty Druid. Range DPS, Mage, Warlock, Hunter, Shadow Priest, Elemental Shaman, and a Moonkin. Do you want to heal? There's a Paladin, Priest, Shaman, and Druid. Classic WoW will bring us back to an era of fun and excitement that cannot be conveyed in a video. You really just have to play around with a class to see if you enjoy it. It's going to be a grind, so pick a class that offers you the most fun. It's a long road to level 60, so enjoy it while it lasts. Tarsius out.